Hello again, everybody. Back in the garage here, working on the KZ. I think the last videos that I uploaded, if memory serves me correctly, is I believe it was rear shock assembly, headlight bucket, and wiring harness. I believe is the last thing I did. So I've just been kind of, I'll bring the camera over and show you what I've done off camera. Some of the stuff is just so time consuming that it's it just wouldn't make good for good video. Trying to figure out how to get an airbox in for 20 minutes. You got to find that one, almost like it's like a key to get it up inside there, and battling with that kind of stuff. Kind of figuring out where. I did take some pictures, but there were certain things that I didn't quite get on, like where the flasher little relay was mounted, how it was, just things like that. And it's all time consuming when you're sitting there and think, so I'll show you that. The bike is coming along. It's going to be mounting the rear tire shortly, just so I can get one less thing. But what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of shining up the rear sprocket, which is unusual. Normally I would just go out and buy a new chain of sprockets for the bike, but money's tight right now, and it's just there's reality to that. The chain of sprockets are in amazingly good shape. Obviously the front will show the real wear as far as a scalloping. When the chain pulls off, it pulls off in a certain way, and you can see that. And they're in pretty good kit, so I'll run them for a little bit, and then I'll buy a set for it. But right now, what I'm doing is I am using these are Scotchbright balls, basically. I'm pretty sure I got them at O'Reilly's or Napa. But they really work well. You've got the green and the red, red being coarser and green being lighter. And I'll turn the camera down. You can see how good it does. It's kind of just, for raw metal, or you're prepping for paint jobs on metal, it scores it up pretty good. And then you clean it up with some acetone to get oils off of it. It's just a nice way to kind of make short work of things. A lot of times I'll use the Scotchbright on, which I'll use them on this when I get ready to start polishing, because it'll do a initial cut and get a lot of the crap off of there. Then I'll bring it over to my buffing wheel, which I will do a little video of before and after how this comes out. I'll give you just a little prelim. Let me grab this for you. This here is the rear, the sprocket will mount to this, and it was looking just like that brake backing plate. But you can see, I used the Scotchbright to get make a cut on it, and then I brought it over to my wheel, and I don't know if you can get a compound that you put on a wheel, so you just kind of hold it up against it. But there's a white, which is light, gray, which is medium, and then kind of like a brown, which is coarse cut. And I start, I go through all three stages, and then I'll finish it off with just a wheel on my drill is what I do. And I also have two other bench grinders with different grades of wheels on it also. That I use when I'm doing a lot of metal. Actually, I'll use those when I start to work on the engine cases. They're behind the ultrasonic cleaner and all that other stuff. I don't want to deal with it, so I'm kind of being lazy. But yeah, you can really see how well that comes out once you really start working it. And that was, like I say, it was probably rougher than that cover. Let me see if I can do a side by side. You know what I'm saying? So you can see the difference, and it's like I said, I think that's the rewarding part, is you're seeing that kind of stuff transform, and that especially the motor. That's that one big lump you've got in that frame. And when all those cases, all the cooling fins are, you know, wire brushed and everything's bright, and you know, looks like a new motor again, it's, you know, it transformed the motorcycle. It's the kind of the crown jewel of doing the restoration. So I'm going to turn this down. I'll show you just kind of doing with the Scotchbright ball, and you'll be able to see that. So bear with me. Let me turn this down. I was going to use my automated camera, but I didn't bring it out here. So, okay, just kind of watch along and you'll be able to see. I wish it looks like we got a little bit of light problem there. But all I can do, because it just doesn't look like you'll be able to make out the metal, but you can see how immediately it takes all that crud off of there, basically making a cut. So let me keep going and I'll show you when it's done. It doesn't take a lot of time. And of course, this is on the bike. It looks like a brand new sprocket, and it's just little things like that that make everything look nice. This is the kind of stuff that me with OCD that I just I just love. So it's instant gratification. And I think this kit, I don't know, probably 15 bucks. Alright, let me pick this up here so you can see the difference. I don't know if the camera is actually showing how it's nice and shiny, and I already did the back of it, and both, you know, it was in pretty dirty setup. So let me put this back up. So yeah, that's just another little tip, I don't know what you want to call it, of doing, especially the metal. These things are just fantastic, doing initial cut on your aluminum pieces, and whatever hazing, whatever you know, burnishing it does to the aluminum. Once you put it to the wheel, it smooths it right out. And I'm hoping I have room. I might be able to do that with my GoPro, and show you that transformation on the on, like, say, the brake hub cover, and of course the motor. That's going to be a lot of time working that motor. I'm actually going to bring it out in the yard and glass bead it with my sandblasting gun initially, and that'll get just a lot of crap off the motor, especially inside the cooling fins where it's hard to get in there. I have these little tiny skinny long brushes that I use, which I guess I might as well just show it to you. Now that I want one, I can't find one. Oh well. Oh, right here. These kits you get at Harbor Freight for next to nothing. And these, you know, I'll use the small one, get inside the cooling fins of the motor, and it makes it so freaking easy. You know, you're not battling. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. You know, it's just how I do things. You know, if you guys have a different process that you guys go by, then let me know. I'm always willing to learn a different way. But this is inexpensive. It gets the job done, and you know, that's the bottom line. So All right, well, I'll reach over and fade. I say that now because I know how to fade things now. See ya. All right, well, I hit this one. I'm just doing the little side hubs. I'll have to get in there with wire brushes once I get it on the bike. That way I can spin it. So this is the little compound. It comes in big chunks, but I'm pretty good at it. Put a little bit on the wheel, and you'll be able to see the change. Woohoo! Very cool. This is the fun part, guys. See, now it'll end up matching the hub that I showed you earlier. And unfortunately, in order to really, be able to get it ultra, then of course it's good that you got to unlace the rim, so you can get a wheel and all that other stuff in there, and it's just it's not a reality. I think if you're doing a show quality motorcycle, then it's a different thing. Show you. Let me get a wipe rag. All right, wait a second. Waiting. I mean, that makes, let me bring this up a little bit, and then I'll bring the camera out, and yeah, you can really see it just, it transforms the motorcycle. And it doesn't take a lot of time. The engine cases I spend way more time on because I say that's the crown jewel centerpiece of the motorcycle. So yeah, just a little thing. And let me flip this around. I was going to make this a little quickie. Let me flip this around, and the other side of the hub I haven't touched with a Scotchbright or anything. And then you can really see the difference. Hopefully I won't screw up the video when I... Okay, I'm going to bring this back down again. Let me flip this over. I'm going to take this out of here. That's the cush drive I was telling you guys about in a different video. Just, rub it. Okay. So you can see it's pretty dull. It just has, unfortunately with this rear wheel, the spokes were so badly rusted you know, for sitting years and years and years in a collapsed barn or garage. I was only able to get them so good. They just, you know, there's gonna have to live with them being discolored, because I took you know, the Scotchbrights and everything else, I took as much metal as I could off there. But anyway, let me show you this. And of course, I'll be using the red Scotchbright because it's a quick cut. And you'll be able to see right away what it does. Takes all that discoloration off of the aluminum. You can see it made a big difference even on the spokes. I'll do the whole rim like that before I put it on the bike. I don't know if you can see all the oxidation dust coming off of the Scotchbright wheel or not, but it's quite a bit of material it takes off. And it doesn't take a lot of time. Okay, so that part is, lost my little block there. Let me see, did it drop inside the rim? Which most likely it did. Well, what did I do with it? Bear with me, guys. Just part of the fun. Nope. Must have dropped it on the ground. Let me get up, grab another piece so I'm not wasting your time. Oh, I got it right here. So you can actually see this happening real time as far as how much time it takes. I'm going to cut that little section a little bit better with the Scotchbright. I didn't get enough material off. My battery's getting a little low on the old Milwaukee. I've been using this drill for, Christ, 20 years. It's amazing the battery still works. It's not a time-consuming thing. Certain things are. Like the engine cases. wipe. Yeah, this, I don't know why, maybe it's I'm just an odd dude, but this is the stuff I really enjoy doing on the restoration. The painting of the frame and all that other stuff is one thing, because it's, you know, it transforms the bike. But there's nothing better than, for me anyway, to have aluminum come back like this. It's just because I think we're human nature, we like shiny things. And at least I do. So yeah, here we go. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I can see that I can. So let me spin this around. So yeah, it's that quick of a thing. I'll off camera I'll spend a little time with just the I can only get the top of the spokes with the wheel, the Scotchbright wheel, and that'll get a little bit more shine into them. But you know, I can only go so far with that. You know, the spokes, a crappy set of spokes can really ruin the look of a bike. But it is what it is on certain machines. You know, it depends on how they were stored. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. I'll string these videos that I'm doing together. You know what I was doing over there on the with the sprocket, this rim, and I'll do the Scotchbright with the brake hub off camera, and I'll bring you guys over to the buffing wheel when I'm doing the you know, the buffing itself on that one. And oh, hit cool. Fading. What the heck? I figured I'd do a quickie with this and a little bit of the buff wheel on this, so you can really see it. This will be a short one. Okay. My battery is not going to last too much longer, as you can hear. Come on. I'm gonna have to get my electric drill over here. Old Con Edison drill. God, I haven't used this damn thing in so long. I had it out because I was doing some drilling, but I'll have to charge this one. Get that taken care of. Yeah, this chuck's a little screwy. Alright, I'll put the little buff wheel to it so you can see how this is, like I say, just as gratifying. The old school. Let me get my block, my buffing block. All right. That's it. Alright, let me grab my wiper rag. And so this is just a quickie. I'm gonna actually take this and put it on the on my stand-up wheel. But yeah, I mean it's I'm sure you can see that. It's instant gratification, you know. So okay, fading. Yeah, thought I'd do a little bit of the my wheel. Let me plug her in. Alright. Using the same stuff. You got brown for coarse, gray for medium. This really, because you can actually put good pressure on it. Sorry, it's a little noisy. Bonehead. Okay. Very cool. I'll go a little bit further with it, but I don't know if you can see that properly, but I mean that short amount of time compared to the way it looked like. There's a couple little spots I want to get. I'll do that off camera, but so there you go. I just wanted to show you that. Fading. Yeah, she's slowly coming along, ladies and gentlemen. Let me spin this around. So I've been a busy boy today. I took you guys along on buffing the hubs and how I do with the Scotchbright balls and that kind of stuff. Buffing the brake hub, that kind of stuff. And I've just been busy, you know, getting the airbox in. All the electrics are now tied up, taken care of. Other than obviously me tying the motor in, there's some attachments that's got to go there. But it's really coming along faster than I expected. But that being said, the engine's going to take some time. That's a timely process, and I'll get the majority of it done before I put the motor in the bike. And then once it's in the bike, then I can pull stator cover, clutch cover, that kind of stuff, and really put it to the wheel. Because those are the only two polished pieces of aluminum on the motor. Everything else is, you know, just kind of raw aluminum. You know, no clear coat or no smooth finish, if you will. But I'll do a little show you. So all the electrics are in. I tied it up, all of the wiring harness, tail section, the shocks. It's ready for the rear wheel. I'll do that tomorrow. And that is looking pretty goddamn snappy. You know, that's the hub, everything polished up. The only downside of that is the spokes, and they're pretty rough shape, but that's just I can only bring those so far back. I still got the gauge clutch taped off because I think I might go with a gloss black instead of the flat black, but I'll wait until I have the bike together. I can pop that off at any time. Yeah, so it's from the factory. It had a red battery box, so I sandblasted that and repainted that, so that's all done. Of course, the tail light assembly's on there, directionals. I could have, in hindsight, I should have done a video, you know, mounting that and that kind of stuff. Pretty basic stuff. It's just 3 bolts up underneath here. But again, you know, I don't know, you know, how basic everyone's mechanical abilities are, as far as if they've never done this, you know. It's just, you know, I should have, hindsight's 20/20. But so that's all set, and front rim is all done. That's ready to go back on. So I don't know if I'll mount that. The fork legs have to come apart, and it needs fork seals, and obviously the fork legs have to be polished. So I'll make that determination as we go. Got the brake stay and all that other stuff on there. I got to still sandblast the kickstand, and just a handful of parts I still have to do. Yeah, overall, I'm, you know, she's, let me get down here a little closer. You can tell she is one dirty girl. You know, all of this, I will take that out in the yard and get covered in glass bead. I'll put glass bead in my sandblast gun, and that'll get all of this stuff back to being clean. And especially back here where it hasn't seen the light of day for a long time. But also inside the cooling fins, you can see how bad that all is. And that, again, this is all kind of raw, non-polished aluminum, so I can use the bead to do that. I'm going to have to obviously plug my intakes and my exhaust ports. Can't get glass bead in there because that could destroy a motor in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, if they say. So yeah, I'll go back to this little view, and then I'll